Hello y'all, welcome. My name is Lauren and this is my fall Techo Kaigi. So spoiler alert, I have 8 different notebooks here, which is a lot. I don't use all of them every day. I don't even use most of them every day. But this is like what I started the year with, and I feel like even though some of them have kind of fallen off, which we'll talk about, I felt like it was important to have them all together. So this is my third, I think, Techo Kaigi for 2025, and it's been really cool to look back at the other videos. I did one in the beginning of the year, and then the spring, and then I thought I'd do one in the fall, just to be different, not like everyone else. No, I don't know. Just because I don't know, like the spring and the fall, I feel like are 2 seasons of change, like the most. I just feel like those 2 times throughout the year are always the times when I like take stock and like, you know, feel a change coming on. But of course, I did benefit immensely from everyone's like mid-year check-ins and got a ton of good ideas to try out myself, and which I've done for like the past month or so. So now I get to, just see what worked, what didn't, and what I'm excited to finish out the year with. Also, I know it's still technically summer, but for me, summer ends when August ends. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me push all these guys out of frame and then we'll get started. Okay, so first change is also the most recent as of last night. I have a huge sentimental attachment to Travelers. It was like the very first journaling system I got on board with, and yeah, it's just been really great for me over the past couple of years. But I realized I think everything that I was doing in this weekly memo book I could put in my original Hobonichi original A6, which I'll show after we talk through the TN setup. And I just really wanted to try it. I really love this layout. It's just like a basic kind of layout with you have your days and then your memo. So I really love this setup, but it kind of has been feeling lately like a little bit of a chore, like I was repeating information. And honestly, I do love repeating information. You should definitely go for it if you want to track the same thing 2 different ways, 2 different journals. I think it could be really helpful to see, number one, if you like doing it better or you prefer using it in one journal over the other, or just if you want to have it 2 places and you don't mind doing it, I think you should go for it, you know? So I did that. Like some information definitely overlapped for like a month, I would say. Yeah, probably like a month, not since the beginning of the year, because I made a lot of changes in the Hobonichi original. Maybe I should have talked about that one first, but we're in too deep now. Anyway, so yeah, so it got to the point where I just wanted to try something different. So this is the only change that I have not been trialing for like a month or so yet, but we'll see how it goes. So basically, I'll show you what I used to do. Like I have all my little cute weather stickers over here, and then I do like the highlight of the day. That's just personal, I'm not gonna show. And then I have like my little habit tracker up here. And again, some like personal little like icons of stuff that I know I do frequently and I like to track. And then books, music, and favorite thing to eat. So this I can definitely put in the original, and then yeah, maybe just every Sunday in the original I'm planning on doing like something similar just for like this little section, and then these will all move to the dailies. And then the biggest thing was like the highlight of the day that felt like it was just being a little repetitive because I was already writing about it elsewhere. And so yeah, I feel like I'll have a more complete picture of the day in just one book. And then the weather stickers are also staying the same, but they'll just be daily instead of this weekly overview. So yeah, I mean, I love the way that these turned out, these covers. When you get these covers, they're completely blank, and so I decorated them with this year's Love and Trip theme from Travelers, and I think they look super cute. So it is a little sad to say goodbye to them, but that's like the benefit of just trying this out for a month. If I, you know, really don't like it, I could always just come back and pop this one back in. So yes, that's these 2 books. And now my Travelers is so skinny since it used to have one of those books in there at all times. So now it's like really, it feels so light as well. So this setup is largely unchanged, except that I just took out one of the books. So yeah, like I said, it's super light. So first we have the clear cover. And I updated all of this with some spooky Halloween stuff. So cute. And then this front pocket also has like a bunch of paper scraps. It has Travelers double-sided tape, which sadly they discontinued. It's such a good product. I know, so I've been like hoarding it. I think I have like 2 left. so sad. I actually have another full sheet that I will never use though, because now that I know it's gone forever. I should use it. You should use your stuff. Don't be like me. But yeah, maybe I will use it. I don't know. I won't. Okay, so that's the clear zip, and then this is the back, super cute. This is, I'll tag everybody below that I know. This is Sarah Redna. This is Void Paper Co. This is a sticker my mom got me that I don't know who it's by. This is from the Washi station. One of their little postcards. This is from Traveler's Stamp Caravan. I just cut that up and put that in here. And then this one's Kelsey Rotten. And this one is Mimi Matsuda. So yeah, I think this is like my favorite part of the Traveler system, honestly, is just having little bits and bobs that inspire me in this clear folder. I really love it. And also, word to the wise, whenever you switch into a new cover, I didn't really pay attention to it, but I kind of like snap the elastic down and it's actually cracking my clear folder. So that's why there's a ton of washi tape on this to kind of prevent the cracking. But I've had this for about 2.5 years. So it's been a good chunk of time, I would say, for using like a piece of plastic daily. But yeah, I will probably get a new one eventually just because it does kind of bother me that it's, you know, cracking. But I know some people who have, you know, it's cracking and it's just going strong. I think actually, let's see, Monk, I believe their name was, from Omoi. I'll link them anyway, even if it wasn't their video, but from Omoi Studio in Philadelphia. Omoi Studio? Maybe just Omoi. Anyway, but yeah, I think in their video they said that they had like a clear folder for like 8 years or something that was cracking and it doesn't bother them. And that's the kind of energy that I need in this world. And then next up I have the Love and Trip clear folder, again from the 2025 collection release. And this is wrapped around, okay, so actually, number one, it comes with, when you buy a clear folder, it comes with the bottom like fused together. So it's like one, actually let me get a passport folder, that way that you could see. Okay, yeah, so this one, so this one is the clear folder, and as you can see, like the bottom's like connected. Ta-da! And I put the bookmark through that little hole, if you can also see. Yeah, there we go. So it's like through there's like a tiny little hole on the clear folder that I dropped that bookmark through. But I love changing out covers in my original size, and it's real annoying to get that little bookmark in and out. And also, as you can see, stuff just falls out. That probably would have happened anyway with a regular folder since I was like tilting it. But but I think the point is that the side is like completely open, which gets a little tiresome, not gonna lie. So for me, I was just like, you know what? Time is fleeting. Let's just cut the bottom of this open and we'll see how it goes. And I ended up really liking it, honestly. I'm really glad that I did it. Do I sound like I'm trying to convince you as well as myself? Maybe, a tiny bit. I was like panic looking and seeing if this folder was still available just so I'd have like a pristine one, but what are we doing here, people? You know, that was kind of like a I have to check myself moment because it's not that serious, but also what if I ruin something forever? But anyway, rambly. But yeah, I really love the design on this folder. And so it's wrapped around my insert, and we'll show the back real quick. Ta-da! So this is a clear just piece of plastic that I like taped into this folder, as you can see, to hold the pencil board because I got these lovely traveler's pockets. Very cool. If you could see them. Yeah. Ta-da! So there's actually like a matching one. And so that was like my vision for this, that I was gonna put both on either side. But the pencil board is just like a little too thick to be able to go into the pocket and have it close. Yeah, so it's like the pocket is too tight. So that's why I just used some plastic and kind of like made my own pocket. And I like kind of flipped it. So theoretically, hopefully this will be like easier to take out. I won't have to like open this page all the way, if that makes sense. Like let's, you know, like I could probably just try and like grab it. Okay, not really. You know what? What am I saying? But that was part of the vision. But if it gets real annoying, it's just washi tape on plastic, so it comes up really easily. But I could just, flip that around and fix that. But yeah, in here I just have the Traveler's Dot stickers, and then these stickers. At one point I did have all of my Habit like those little weather stickers and stuff that you saw for the weekly in here, but I don't know, I just kept these two in here for now. We'll see if I want to add more. Part of me was thinking of adding like a sticker insert and cutting up some like PET tapes and washi tapes and having those live in here, but I don't know if I'd actually use them, so I didn't do that just yet, but that is kind of in the back of my mind. And then at the same time, I was like, am I just adding inserts in this because I want it to be like nice and chunky again? Which isn't really, you know, that's still fun, but it's not exactly a reason to like be adding inserts to it. And yeah, and so then the main item that's in here now is just my 2-month insert. That's a page a day, which I hand made from Tomoe River paper and Yamamoto Solised. Really lovely papers, love both of them. And this is just like a sketch a day kind of notebook, for instance, this one, ta-da! So I have a couple of flip throughs on what these notebooks are like, but this is probably like my mainstay. I've been doing like a drawing a day-ish, yeah, ever since I started journaling pretty much. So it's been really fun. I don't think that this will ever go away. I did try and do like one drawing on a whole spread earlier in the year, and that just like didn't work. It was just too much drawing. It felt like way too much pressure. So I went back to one day, but I actually gave myself the flexibility to like skip a day. So for instance, this like outing was on one day, but I did it across 2 days. You get it. So, so sometimes I do like, you know, I do stuff on like either day. Like this was 2 different days, but sometimes I use the spread. I actually don't like either of these drawings. I don't know why I flipped to this page, but let's find a better page. Here we go. So yeah, like this was 2 different days, and this looks, I like this. This is nice. Yeah, so that is my Travelers. I really love it. And yeah, I love collecting the covers. I did get the other Love and Trip cover this year. And also, yeah, this one had like a little sneak peek. This is one that I'm going to be using next year primarily. This is going to be a pen pal journal inspired by Tyler from Paper and Pencil Chicago. His was so cute. It doesn't really have anything in here right now except for the sticker insert for stamps. And then I'm going to add a weekly, yeah, just like the Passport Weekly in here to kind of keep track of addresses, mail being sent out, that kind of stuff. And it also has a zipper case in here. I think I just kind of put that in there. Or did Past Me have a plan? I don't know, but anyway, if you have a passport, I know a lot of people use these as wallets, but I definitely, yeah, I'm not sure what I'll put in here just yet, but we'll see. But let me know if you use one of these guys, not as a wallet and just as a notebook. Cool. Okay, next up we have the Hobonichis. So I tried out a Hone for the first time this year, 2025. I love this cover so much. It's so dang cute. And yeah, it just didn't quite work for me, but that's okay. I think it was my own fault, honestly. I just got really rigid with it, like really quickly, and that wasn't fun at all. No, I did have some fun. I actually stole a lot of stuff from this book to put in the original. So I'm really glad I tried out some stuff in here for sure. But honestly, I just wrote about some kind of heavy stuff that happened in the spring, and then every time I came back to this book, I was like, oh man, I was just reminded of that time, and I didn't want to be reminded of that. So I think it was the Journaling Dumpling or the Journaling Potato, both great, but one of them recently said that she had kind of the same thing where she remembered writing about like a kind of bummer of a time, and that's what she thought about every time she kind of picked up her book. So for me, that was like a little bit of a, I don't know, insurmountable challenge, I guess, but it was good to learn that I just like writing about fun stuff. Not exclusively, but anyway, I think if I know some people, like I have a friend who, you know, if she has to write about heavy things, she'll like burn the pages after. I feel like that's really cathartic. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, something more metaphorical, like write it on the computer and then delete it, something like that. I do think journaling is like your place to be unhinged. You know, you don't owe anyone any explanations. You don't have to justify how you're feeling and stuff. So I believe that in theory, but in practice, I think I don't like doing it. I don't like rereading it. So, and now I'm laughing because I feel so uncomfortable about my feelings. Maybe that's something deeper we should unpack later. Anyway, but I am really glad that I tried some stuff in this book, like My habit tracker. I think this looks so cool. I'm so pumped about this. Also, the original probably doesn't need to be underneath here for now. So yeah, I think this looks really lovely. And that is something that I carried over to try out in September. Ta-da! So I just added this key. I was using these pages to like track YouTube videos and like fun little milestones, but now I'm just going to try for like the last 4 months just to do habits. So hopefully this will look like this. And it was just like too much to transfer all of this in here, just because, yeah, I was using it for something else. So I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't bother me. I feel like normally that would bother me, but we'll just say it doesn't. And man, these were so fun. Yeah, this was just like really hard to keep up with. I did it for a while though, honestly. These drawings a day. And oh, this is, I got some happy mail from Micah Oatley, in case you're watching it and you're like, wow, that looks really familiar to another artist. Yes, correct. So yeah, these are really fun. And I think May, is that the last month? Yeah, okay, yeah. So I did it for 5 months. I feel like that's a pretty good college try. And yeah, I think it kind of felt like a little bit of a slog every time, even though it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I like didn't put pressure on myself to keep going anymore because I did get a little tired of it. And then I will be transferring this over. I actually haven't just yet, but the plan was to do a swatch every single time I filled up a pen. And I think it looks really cool. So you'll see like colors repeat. Puree, like one of my favorite colors, is in here like a million times. So I think I should be able, and this is just in January 2026 of my 2025 book. So I think I should just be able to transfer that into the original. It'll just be, yeah, fun little inky time. And then, yeah, it was really satisfying to like, I matched the ink to like all, whatever, it was like 5 months that I did. So that was really cool. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go back and like transfer the actual entries into the original, just because again, like they're a little heavy and I don't want to do that. I'd rather spend my time doing something else. But I have been using my like custom ink blends for July and August in here. So hopefully that will be just as satisfying. And then the back pages, I had actually, it was so funny. I actually had like most of this information at least one other place. So like movies, I had like I just put this list into the original. Keep Up Demon Hunters is a 5 all day, 5 stars. Don't know why. I guess I forgot to do that rating there, but don't worry, it was amazing. It's not that I didn't rate it because I didn't like it. Yeah, and also there's like, I guess I don't really watch that much stuff, which is wild, but I was real ambitious of using like the 2 full pages for this. And then this is just like a list of stuff that I did, and this, again, I pretty much had almost all of it in the original anyway, so that wasn't really too big of a deal to transfer. This is like a really cute list that, I don't know, I haven't transferred yet, but I love the idea of it so much. So it's like I think I got it from Joshi Curran, but you like make a list of stuff that you're doing on January 1st and then you revisit it on December 31st at the end of the year. So I really like this in theory. I haven't transferred it yet. It's in the maybe pile. And then this one I did transfer. So this was like a letter from yourself. Again, like yearly kind of project. You write it on the first of the year and then you open it up at the end of the year. So I think that's really cute. Definitely wanted to carry that over. And yeah, and then this was super fun. So this was supposed to match the words to remember. And then this was before I realized that Hobonichi actually has a ton of downloads that you could print and download at any time. So yay. So this was my test to transfer all these pictures into the original. And I love how it turned out. I don't know if you could see the issue with these pictures, but they're just like a little too blue. So that's why this became the test print. And then I fixed my printer settings and then we were off to the races. But yeah, they have a ton of downloadables. I think this is the Japanese version because they have like a bit more options in Japanese. They do have some in English as well, but I just went on the Japanese downloadable site just because I wanted to browse like all the options that they had. So that was really great. And this is like a favorites page. This is also definitely a download, and I think I will be transferring this over. Super fun. And then yeah, I have to match like the ink. This was another one where I matched the ink to each month. So I think I decided to do this in like February, so I left some room for the rest of January. My 100 list, I think this was like, theoretically I was gonna meet 100 cats and dogs this year, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll transfer this. Maybe I'll do something different, but I think it's cute in theory. Sadly, it didn't quite work out. And yeah, that's it for the Hone. So had some good times, we had some bad times. Overall, it just was a time for us to part ways. And yay, the original. I kind of think this format works so well for me for like the same reason the TN does, just because I can put a bunch of stuff in the front. I guess I did this in the Hone too, but for some reason it feels more, I don't know, just like tactile in the original. I don't know, it feels more accessible. So like in theory, the Hone and the original A6, like one is just hardcover, but I think in practice they do feel like very different books to me, which is like a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes I feel like you can journal in any journal, you know, you don't have to have what everyone else has, you can try stuff out. I think you should try stuff out anyway, but at the same time, like once you find a journal that really works for you, it works a lot better than any other journal you may have tried before. Does that make sense? So it like really is worth it to experiment because it really will change how you use something. I don't really believe that you can journal in anything and have it work the same as something that you feel more confident and more excited to use. It's kind of like art supplies. Like some art supplies, you get what you pay for kind of situation. And sometimes you really notice the drop in quality and sometimes you don't because, you know, maybe the difference in quality doesn't matter to you. For me, for instance, like acrylic paints, huge difference in different price tiers. It's always worth it to buy like the brand name acrylic paints. They're so much better. So, but who knows, you know, if someone else uses acrylic paints, they might not have that feeling. They might just be able to do great art with crummier paints. And I love that sentiment that it's like, you know, you could create with anything, but also sometimes it's nice to just have really nice tools, I guess is the point. So yeah, this one has been super fun. It was supposed to be like my more casual journal from the beginning of the year, and I think that's why it worked so well, was because I kept it like really casual, whereas the Hone I got like really rigid right away, and then like I was afraid to experiment. But this one it has always been about experimentation, so I've really enjoyed writing in it for that reason. This page keeps track of the TN inserts, so I have like 7 kind of for the year. I had like 5 days and 1 at the start of the year that I forgot about, so that's why there's a little 0.5 there, and then yeah, I'm in my 6th one right now. And then, yeah, we already kind of looked at this one. Ink list, YouTube list, habit tracker trialing for the last quarter of the year. Last third of the year? Yeah, something like that. And then I kind of have like personal plans. Let's see if I could show one of them. Yeah, so this is like really blank, as you can see. So I feel like a lot of stuff I could add to this. Like, actually, I don't think I showed it, but in the TN, I had like an ink log. I have ink logs in all of my books pretty much. But yeah, just kind of like this, basically using this like overview page for when I inked pens. So this could like easily transfer into here. And yeah, I don't really have a lot going on. Actually, some months are busier than others, but I think I definitely have room for that to be in here. And then also like the YouTube videos and stuff for sure I can put in here as well. And the dailies have been super fun. I started pre-decorating the dailies, which was a huge help, honestly. I think it was like that first, that like kind of like blank page jitters. So yeah, definitely inspired by Bronte plans. Just started pre-decorating the pages pretty much like this. I have a ton of washi tape. I love using washi tape. Don't really have too many stickers. And it's been really nice just using my collection and setting up for the week ahead. The back pages we kind of talked about, but before I decided to move some stuff over, these are kind of just like a commonplace situation, like stuff that I just needed to remember, like my printer settings. Again, tragedy befell, but no more. Yeah, so I figured that out, and it'd been an issue before, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write it down for once and for all. How I make my TN inserts. This fun little pen pal log, just covering up everybody's names, but this I'll keep in for the rest of this year, obviously, because I have a ton of room. And then this is going to go into that little TN passport, so I'm super excited about that change. And then this is kind of the transfer situation of the movies, at least. I already had like a watch list in here, so I feel like these are a fun little page that I'll probably continue next year. And yeah, this is where those pictures went. Hooray! It's just like a little tip-in that's on the other side of where the words are. And it's kind of cool that it's in Japanese, because I feel like it's like a nice extra differentiation between the two spreads. And yeah, this is like a little off-white, but I didn't want to use just printer paper, so I felt like this was like a little bit more special. Oh yeah, that is the sad part that I said goodbye to this 365-day checkoff sheet in the Hone. Just because I used all my custom ink blends, it was like really satisfying to see it all together. R.I.P. But this one is fun and chaotic in its own way, you know? And then this is where that letter went. I put it in one of the Hobonichi pockets. I think it looks really fun. And then put the Yumi Kirigishi card from this year with like a dried flower in there. I think it looks really fun. I'm super into that. And this is where the pencil board lives, hooray. And then usually I have the TN brass, yeah, this is just like Traveler's Company brass fountain pen in the back, and then one of the Uniball 1 pens like that, ta-da. Oh, and also I stamped the pages with another Yumi Kirigishi little fun cat fairy stamp. I really love the way that that turned out. So yeah, that is the Hobonichi original. And then we have the Hobonichi Weeks. This one's been super fun. This has been my second year doing a reading journal, and I really love it. It's so much fun to be in the sky. I just did a kind of recent like mid-year catch-up of this journal, so I won't go through all the pages, but basically I'll go through the ones I'm psyched about. So this is one that's really cool. It's like a reading overview. This plummeting line is the total page count for the month. So July was my least amount of pages read, but that's because I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil for like the last week and a half of July, but I finished it in August, so it goes into the August column. So the August column's gonna jump like way up. But yeah, I really love the way that this looks. This has been a lot of fun. It does look very chaotic again, but it's really satisfying. And then we have a washi tape bookshelf. So this is like a little sliver of washi for each book that I read. I love the way that this turned out. And then the monthlies are just days that I read, and then the single line is like while I was reading a book, but didn't read like that day, versus like the gaps are just like I skipped that day reading. And then this is like a sample of what the weekly pages look, just what I'm reading and like my thoughts and, you know, like any little observations that I have. I put quotes here, stuff like that. Book reviews, of course. This has been super satisfying. I am quite behind, but I draw each book cover and then write a little review and my star rating. And then yeah, I got a ton of back pages. Some of them I won't be keeping next year, but some of them are fun, like the themed lists. Won't be keeping these. There's just too few of them. I think I'm gonna change it into like a creature page, like creature cuties in books or something, because I don't need 4 pages for books, cats and dogs when there's so few. This is like one of the most satisfying spreads I did though, a little book map. Again, inspired by Joshi Curran. This is so satisfying. I love it so much. I printed this on clear sticker paper, and then the like land masses are just regular MD paper. I love the way that this turned out so much. And the key is like over here of the ones that fit like each challenge kind of check off. Some of them are kind of like funny just to me. Some of them are a little bit more obvious, but like Beach Read is just a book that I read at the beach. Last year it was a specific Emily Henry book that I wanted to read, so that was kind of funny. I don't know, I get a kick out of that. And yeah, then this is just every day that I've read, and then the stars were days I went to the library. I think I'm for sure behind on that though, but yeah, because I definitely have been in the past couple weeks. But anyway, yeah, super satisfying to see. I love this one column. If I had read on January 6th, this would be like the one column that was completely full so far, but alas. It's just funny because I missed the first like week, and then every other, what is it, like 2 weeks, I read on that day, whatever day that is, I guess. It tickles me. So that is the Hobonichi Weeks going strong. Definitely gonna get one for 2026. And then we get into the other journals. Yeah. So theoretically, I'm gonna do this in the same order as my other Techo Kaigis, maybe. I wrote it down, but we'll see if I was correct. So first things first, this is the free gift from last year. I actually traded online on Instagram for this one. I love this butterfly design, so fun. So this is my ink mixing book. So for all the Hobonichi months, I've been doing custom colors that match the tabs. And this has been super fun. I've been going strong with this one. July actually had like, I think was already, I think Zabun, a Kakimori ink that's like already mixed, really matched that one. So that's the only month so far that I haven't really mixed one for. And then August was just pretty much meteorite, but just diluted it a tiny bit. But yeah, this one's super satisfying. I guess we could also let these be on their own. They don't have to be piled up together. So this one is a little sketchbook that I started last summer. We're still going. It's kind of turned into like an ink swatching book pretty much. Yeah, so it's been super fun to experiment in here with inks. I do want to get back to sketching in here just because it's like a nice format. Last year I did like the Cursed Relics challenge hosted by Alba. I'll link her below, but this was really fun just doing like one of those Drawtober challenges. So yeah, I want to get back to like doing stuff like this in here, but I also do love the inks and like, you know, getting all swatchy and fun and chaotic in here with that. So that's been satisfying. It's just been a fun notebook to play around with. And then this one sadly has fallen off, I know. So like the Hone, I was so hyped about this. It was supposed to be a date journal with my husband, and I just don't like printing pictures. I think that's it. That's the biggest hurdle in my life. So we could just like write in it, but I feel like, you know, I talked to him about it. I was like, you know, would you just write in my journal? And he was like, yeah, of course. So we don't need like a whole separate journal. But I do love it. I love the way I set it up. I love like the cover page is so fun. I made all these little stickers for us that are really cute that I'm so happy with. So it was like such a fun project, and part of me is like maybe at the end of the year I'll print all my pictures at once and like recap all of our dates throughout the year on like one Saturday or something. So I don't know. It's gone for now, but not forgotten maybe. I don't know. But it's like such a set. I like love the paper plants little guy, little dog, and it's like such a fun color. I don't know, I really love it. I love the memories in it. I feel like I'm talking myself into using it again, but I know in my heart I just don't have the time or the patience. But I don't know, now I have my printer settings all figured out. Maybe I should give it another go. Also a big hurdle, I will say, now that I, you know, almost want to get back into it. A big hurdle is that this is not the most fountain pen friendly paper. I feel like I've been struggling a little bit with it. I don't know, I feel like that's a problem that's easily solved. I don't have to use fountain pen in here. I don't know. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. This guy is so cute. But I haven't updated it in a hot minute. So yeah, maybe he'll be in my 2026 Techo Kaigi. Stay tuned. This one's also fallen off a little bit, and I think this one is fallen off permanently. So this was supposed to be like an ultimate swatch book, but the thing is, the problem happened almost immediately where I really want things to be in like rainbow order. So if I swatch all my inks, but then I get like another ink, I'm gonna be annoyed if they're like out of rainbow order. And I've been swatching like a ton of washi, but if I like run out of room for like orange or something, and then I have to start another page, but it's like out of order again, yeah, it just really bothered me, I guess. So this was super cool. I feel like the easy solution to both of those things is a ring system. So in the back of my mind, I am thinking about getting a plotter, mostly for ink swatching, but also just because they look real cool, and I think I would really benefit from being able to rearrange the pages for this specific use. So yeah, this was fun while it lasted. It lasted a while, I gotta say. But yeah, there's stuff that I just didn't do, and then I was like, oh, I gotta do that, and then, you know, in my head I'm like, why? I just cannot do that. I could just move on to a different project and have fun. So yeah, I was gonna swatch like every single piece of like media that I had, art supply, and then yeah, I was like, all right, maybe we'll do something different. But I do think I would find value, like the stamps particularly, I think I would, you know, because they're just kind of piled somewhere. So I think I would really enjoy being able to like flip through all of the stamps that I have. And again, flip through like all the washi I have a little bit easier. So yeah, I think a plotter is the way to go. But I love this cover so much, and I feel like I like wasted it, but I don't know. You know, we had some good times. It can be okay. And then last but definitely not least is my lovely A5. I feel like we should zoom out a little bit. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so you can have the full cover in all of her glory. So this one really is like a chaotic, like dump book. Like I didn't even decorate the interior, which is crazy to me. I feel like I would love having stuff here. But this one really, I just flip to a page and like go, you know? It's not something that I like linger in, I guess? I don't know. But I have really chaotic lists in here, a lot of personal information, so if I cut off abruptly, it's because I realized that there is some personal stuff on the page, but hopefully I can find some stuff that, yeah, isn't too personal. So yeah, so I do a lot of sketches in here that go other places pretty much. So like you saw that Drawtober challenge, like I did some loose like ideas in here, and then I like refined it in that little sketchbook. Like one of the first things in here is like that Books with Dogs spread that's in the weeks, like that themed list again. Actually, this I just used to trace in here, and then I guess, I don't know, I put it in this book for some reason. So yeah, really chaotic, really loose. This has been a really good time just because I feel like I sketch the best when, you know, I love like finished, beautiful sketchbooks, but for me, I love sketching just to like get ideas out and not worrying about what it looks like, ironically. So the kind of adage where make it exist first and then you can make it better later, that's really what the sketchbook is. Which, I don't, this is like a very clean page to say that on, but you know, that's the vibe. Sometimes it is clean. And yeah, so we got like a itty bitty bit left, but I already have a backup A5 that I will be putting back in here once this one's done. So really excited, looking forward to that. This is such a fun cover. I'm really glad I get to use it. Wow, look at everything. Oh my God. A little insane. But yeah, I've really enjoyed talking through all these. Talking myself back into using notebooks, but please let me know how your notebooks are going. If you're changing your 2025 system in the midst of buying stuff for 2026, I think that's the way to go. I fully support you. So yeah, I watch like all Techo Kaigi videos I could possibly find, so definitely link yours below if you've done one, and let me know how your system is going. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!